You've been rolling around, shouldn't roll it up. Let her roll it up. Break it down like a punch, she would never us. She would never us. That's the real on the real, are you serious? How you feel, how you feel? Used to trip off that shit I was kicking to you. Had some fun on the round, I'll give it to you. But baby,
tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
My mom told me my dad was Johnny Depp the entire time I was growing up until I was 13 when TMZ said that he was getting divorced. But at Disneyland, I would ride the Pirates of the Caribbean ride over and over again because it was the only time that I could see my dad. My mom would pay the actors at Disneyland to have lunch with me so I could spend the day with my dad. And at school, when it was Father's Day, all the kids would ask me where my dad was, and I would say he was too busy making movies, and that's why he couldn't come. I have seen almost every movie that Johnny Depp has ever been in, and I've memorized a good portion of his lines. So, happy belated Father's Day, Dad.
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
When I was little, my grandma told me if I ate ice and snow off the ground, it was gonna give me ice powers and shit. I did that shit for like a week straight. I tried to freeze my sister, the shit didn't work. I got sick as fuck. I didn't want to play in the snow outside ever again.
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
I was raised Catholic, and despite my parents' horror, I never believed in anything the church was teaching. And so in order to try to get me to believe, they decided to take me as a child to see The Exorcist when it was re-released in the theaters. It was a very scary movie for me. And after the movie was over, my stepmom told me that that's what happens if you don't believe in God. She told me that there was an attic, or the attic that was right outside my door, my bedroom door, that there was a demon hiding in there, just waiting to take over my body. So as I'm sure you can imagine, I spent the rest of my childhood terrified, just waiting for this demon to come, because I honestly could not believe in God. And I knew that if I didn't, that it would take over my body. It didn't work. I still don't believe. Parents, don't use fear to try to teach your kids.
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
It's my time to shine like this light on my face. Age of 14, my mom would give me a vitamin every night at 9 o'clock. No matter where I was, she made sure I took the vitamin at 9 o'clock. I never questioned it because it was coming from my mom. Age of 17, I had a friend say, "That's not a vitamin." He was like, "That's a birth control pill." I was like, "No, it's not." He was like, "Yes, let me show you. I have the same ones." Like, what? Oh, I'm calling to ask my mom. When I call and ask my mom, she's like, "We'll talk about it when you get home. Just make sure you take it at 9. We talked about it. She said yes. She didn't want me to think that she condoned me to have sex. So that's why she didn't tell me that it was a birth control pill. I had a cousin that got pregnant with twins at the age of 15. And my mom was like, "Oh, hell no, not this house. It will not happen."
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie. I'll go first.
Did you know that it's actually not illegal to leave this light on while the car's in motion? Did you know that? I just found this out very recently.
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
My mom told me and my sister that if we ever smoked marijuana, we would shit our pants. She said it ran in our family, and she said one time my aunt tried marijuana and she shit her pants, and one time my cousin tried marijuana and he shit his pants, and it was just a thing that happened in our family. So when we went to parties and people offered us marijuana, we would say no because we were afraid that we were going to shit our pants. It's honestly good parenting.
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
Y'all gonna like this one. So me and my mother was in the car one day. I cannot remember where we was going. That's irrelevant. But anywho, I, for some reason, felt the need to ask my mother what LBS stood for. Like when you see 45 LBS. I didn't know what that meant. I was young at the time. Child, my mama told me the LBS stood for loose booty syndrome. Of course, the next day at school, the teacher asked me to read one of the math problems and whatnot. And of course, it had to do with weights. And my dumb ass read the weights as 50 loose booty syndromes. I will never forget the look the teacher and the whole class gave me at that moment. But how was I supposed to know that LBS meant pounds? It doesn't even look like pounds.
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
When I was a little kid, my papa told me that if I threw salt on a bird's tail, that it would not fly away and I could keep it as a pet. And that's how people got, like, pet birds. And so I spent the next years of my childhood throwing salt at birds, and he would always just tell me, you missed. Until one day, probably like 5 years later, I'm not proud of how long it took me to figure out that he was full of shit, but I snuck outside with an entire salt shaker, took the lid off, left nothing up to chance, and I dumped this whole salt shaker on a bird, and the thing flew away. And it was at that moment that I looked up and said, Papa's a fucking liar.
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
When I was a little girl, my parents thought it would be a funny practical joke on little Emma to tell her that any time she ate a watermelon, and that watermelon had seeds in it, that a watermelon would proceed to grow inside of her. And little Emma found this out long past the point of reversing her childhood trauma.
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
Oh, sweet pachanga longa wonga chimichanga. The first lie that I've been told as a kid was that Santa figures out everything you're doing, right? Just rip the Band-Aid off and tell me the guy isn't real. You wanna know why? Because as a kid, it's tough to make friends when other kids are like, come on, Jordan, let's just skip class. And I'm like, I can't, because Santa will find out. I had a tough go around in school due to that Santa comment for years, right? Other lie that I've been told is that when you graduate college, you'll be at your smartest. No, because I graduated college with a degree and I know less now than when I graduated high school. I can't do basic math in my head, but now I can start a career. I don't really know about that one. Also, when you eat something and go swimming, you'll get a cramp. That's a lie, but I never enjoyed a sandwich in a pool day out of fear. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you.
Ooh, I have a good one for this. That premarital sex is a sin, and it says so in the Bible. Checked it. It doesn't say that. It does, however, mention 7 times that you should not fuck your livestock. So clearly that was the big problem back then.
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
When I was like 5 or 6 years old, I asked my mom if mothers can read their children's thoughts, and she told me yes. She told me I had to be super careful about what I think about and to never think anything bad about her because she would know and she would get me in trouble. It led to years of panic. I didn't think I had any privacy. I thought all of my thoughts were shared with my mom. I would try purposefully not to think certain things because I didn't want my mom to know that I was thinking about them. If my mom did something to hurt my feelings or something I didn't like, I literally could not think about it, or I would start to have anxiety because I thought my mom would know I was thinking those things about her and she would get me in trouble. My friends would tell me things and I would interrupt them and tell them not to tell me and that I couldn't keep secrets because if I think about it, my mom will know and tell their parents. I was told neither privacy or boundaries exist until I'm 18 years old, and I didn't realize that my mom could not read my mind until I was like well into middle school. I literally thought she could hear everything I thought.
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you, and when you figured out it was a lie.
Oh God, for the people, the adults, the teachers that told me that people who graduate college are way better off than the people who don't, that's a lie. That is a lie. You lied to a child's face. Do you go around? Think of the truth. And don't do that. That's what you just did. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the deal. My buddy, he didn't even go to college. He has a house now with a beautiful family, a good car, great credit score. I graduated college, 2 degrees. Guess what I got, right? I have back pain and barely a job. My car only runs on Thursdays. That's how rough it is, right? Wanna know what the highlight of my day is? Is when I get paid from my job, I'll go to Chipotle and bring my glasses and ask for guacamole so they can be like, it's gonna be extra. And I go, I know. That's the only time I can feel wealthy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Tell me the biggest lie an adult has ever told you.
So from the time I was hatched, my mom drilled into my head that the only thing people wanted from me was sex, and it turns out that's not true. A lot of people want me to shut the fuck up.
This bitch gonna make me